My name is Damon Martin. I'm the cross-country track and field coach here at Adams State College for both men and women. I started as the women's head coach in 1989, and I took over the boys in 1996.
Wonderful. What do you feel is the hardest part of your job?
I would say probably the hardest part of the job is to stay up on recruiting and the paperwork. It's not something that I really like to do, or it's not something that is exciting to do. I think the fun things for me to do are to go out there on a daily basis and work with the kids and help them run faster, jump higher or farther, or throw farther, that type of thing. Anytime you're interacting with young people, it's exciting and fun. Every year brings different challenges, and so I think that's fun. So the hardest part would definitely be to sit down and make phone calls and recruit kids and that kind of thing. It's a very necessary part of the job.
Right, so the desk work, that's just not very fun. So what kind of management skills does it take to build a program like the one that you've been running since the 80s?
I would say one of the things that I think has been very, very important for us to continue to grow and get better and better is that I've hired good people to be assistant coaches that have the same values and goals that I do, and I think we're really consistent with, we have a vision of what we want the program to become. I think at first, when I first started, it was just me and one graduate assistant, and that made it very difficult to touch as many lives or touch as many kids to help them improve. And as I've hired good assistants, and trusted them and allowed them to do things, they've really helped the program blossom because they have the same goals and values, and then they're very skilled. And so I think management style is turning over some of the responsibilities to other people maybe that are good at things that I'm not good at, or better at things than I am. And I think allowing them to do that has allowed the program to get better.
That's great. How do you and your fellow co-workers, how do you create success year after year? Like, what kind of skills do you use? What kind of management protocols do you go by in order to create this wall of national championships?
I would say that there's an old saying that success is a journey, not a destination. And I really believe that one of the things that I try to do with the young people in our program is to give them a vision, give them a goal. And I think that part of being a good coach is being able to have kids trust you and let them, they got to let me in, and then I got to let them in. And I think as we build that trust relationship and we start to define what success is for them, and it's going to be different for everybody. Not everybody's going to win a national title, but I also think that the kids that come here and they are truly committed to the program and willing to bust their butt, I think that they can make significant contributions to our program. And sometimes you win a national title by 1 point. I think that having success is getting more people to contribute to the success of the team. And so we try to get a lot of kids to buy into what we're trying to do, and that they can make a difference. They're not insignificant, they are very significant. Every year is different, and I think that to get that many kids over the history, I'm so proud of this, not because it's a lot of trophies, but this represents hundreds, if not thousands, of kids.
Right.
And I think that their collective efforts have made this possible. Coaches didn't win any of these. Athletes did. And it was because they believed in what we were trying to do as a program, and I'm really proud of that.
That's wonderful. Speaking of goals, I know that you are going to nationals this week, and you have 2 national titles on the line. What is your mindset, your co-workers' mindset, and the athletes going to nationals? How are they going into this competition prepared right now?
Well, I think at this time of the year, the goal is that we want to lay out our very, very best performance. Whatever that may be, we have to bring our best game. And it's just like a test. At the end of the year, you want to retain as much knowledge and execute and write it down on paper, that everything that you know. And I think our kids are prepared for this one moment. Our sport is so much different than so many other sports, where the regular season really just doesn't count for much. You know, I mean, the regular season is kind of a preparation to get you to the final, but the final is where, that's the one that everybody remembers. It's the one here at Adams State that we're judged upon. You know, if we win the national title, then, you know, not much else matters. And I think that, you know, it is also, I think, a thing that where you have to keep the kids focused. Sometimes, you know, if they think that, oh, we're just going to win because we're Adams State, then that's a bad thing.
Right.
If they think that, I certainly think that they have to go in, be prepared to battle and give that greatest effort. And I think at Adams State we've been very good at that. On the one given day, having those 7 men or 7 women on the same page, that they're really going to give a superior effort. I think that, you know, the final preparations of this is to make sure that all 7 kids, regardless of how they feel on that given day, don't let their guard down. By that, I think that a lot of times you lose a national title because maybe 6 of the kids were on the same page and one kid just wasn't having a good day. Maybe they weren't where they wanted to be and they kind of bagged the race. A lot of times those kids, if they just push through and suffer through it and maybe not finish where they should have, but do what the best they can do that given day, sometimes those are the kids that make the difference in winning the national title or not. So our last preparations is to make sure everybody's willing to give that kind of effort.
Wonderful. Seeing how as you're kind of the manager of the team, what steps do you take in order for these kids to succeed? What steps do you lay out for them besides setting goals? What steps do you really incorporate in their lives in order to have them be the best that they can be? You
know, typically it's a little different for every kid. I would say that the majority of our athletes are not like most kids from the standpoint of that they're very obsessive compulsive disorder type kids. In a lot of programs I know that they really have to push, you know, kids to meet the standard or meet the bar or the expectation. I think in my case a lot of times with not all kids, but with the majority, I'm probably holding them back a little bit. You know, they want to overdo it, or they want to run 1 extra mile, or they want to do a little bit extra weight training or a little bit extra plyometric training. And sometimes it's how it all meshes together and where you're at in a season, whether they need to recuperate or whether they need to work hard. So I think that one of the things that we have to do within our program that's maybe a little different is we motivate the kids, but they're pretty motivated already. We lay out a plan of what I expect, and then as they get excited, sometimes we have to hold them back a little bit. I think that they have a tendency to overdo it.
That's great. Well, good luck this weekend and when you go to nationals, and it was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.